it's making the things even worse than the one before. Like this one is like even more a bell shape. Hey guys, welcome to the studio today. Another full album production day. I already started a little bit. I got new vocals for 2 of the songs, new finalized, finished, recorded vocals. That's why I'm extremely busy. I want to focus 100% on just making music. I'm really stoked, happy to get those vocals. I think the 2 ones that I got today are actually the 2 best ones, so I can't wait to build the entire songs around it. So yeah, I think it's time to do another simple, quick edition of track submits where you guys send me tracks and I give you feedback. So yeah, welcome to Track Submits, the little segment within my daily vlog where I listen to your music and try to give you feedback and help you to improve, and also the entire community will give you feedback and rate your song. The first one for today is by Akima and called Sky.
Sky.
It's a good idea. It's definitely hitting the right style, the right sounds. That's usually what a lot of people get wrong. The Sky vocal sample, I'm assuming it's his own voice. It's not really processed enough. It needs way, way more processing. It just really sticks out as being dry and not having enough effects on it. So delay, reverb, EQing, compression, just like drown it in effects and it will actually fit better to the entire song, especially if it's just like one single word. The low end is still a little messy. It doesn't sound like glued together, and the kick, I'm not sure about the kick. I don't think it's the right choice. The bass is a little too loud and also not really the right one. It could actually be like bigger, have more frequencies also in the top part, so maybe a top bass could actually help. Or maybe really low chords. I mean, you can also see in the analyzer, there's like a gap between like 150, 250 hertz. That's usually where you have like the upper bass or the low chords, and this would actually make it sound thicker, fuller, richer, and overall get a nicer balanced mix. The fills, drum rolls are just on point. The sound design, again, it just really fits to future bass. So it's really more a matter of getting the mixing right and yeah, effects onto the vocal plate.
Life begins at the end of a broken heart. Take a chance at it and you find your part. Look ahead and you see that they're calling out to you.
Good song, also future bass influenced, a little more towards pop. The vocals are alright, the instrumental is good, the mixing is actually on point, there is nothing really sticking out. Nothing out of the ordinary that needs to be fixed, nothing that is completely messed up. I think this person, by the way, it's by Richard Grant. It's called Final Take Me There. I think he's now at the point where his sounds are good enough to maybe start approaching labels. And from here on out, it's just like experience, not giving up, slowly improving, every track 5% better. There's nothing where I could like really give feedback, but let me maybe listen again to it and see if there's anything. No, really solid, good production. I mean, it can't keep up with the top producers, but yeah, just stick to it. I'm sure they made music that sounded way worse than this when they started out. So please, Richard, whatever, keep it up.
Let the rhythm take control.
That's a good one. I mean, the mixing is off. It definitely needs to be mixed in a different way. It's mixed kind of strange. It's very, very bottom heavy, very, very top heavy. And like all of the sounds sound really dry and short. And also this main synthesizer that is just like doing freaky stuff. It sounds cool. I actually like that, but it needs more effects. It's like really dry and like a really kind of standard sound. I mean, yes, it's doing fancy stuff, but the sound itself is very standard. I think this could be pimped a little, but like the approach, the thinking for this track is very interesting. I mean, you got that vocal that actually doesn't fit to the style. It's probably just a sample. It sounds more like a classic house sample. And then it actually is in high contrast with the entire instrumental, which I actually like. I listened to it. It surprised me. That's already like positive. Just needs to be mixed way more professional. And other than that, it's kind of cool. I mean, yes, it's like, it's rough and it's like very clubby, but yeah, it's cool. Yeah, the mixing is actually really strange. So maybe remix the entire song, put all of the failures back to 0, get rid of all of the effects, and start all over again. But the elements that are in there are actually enough to make a good club track. And again, I like the weirdness of the synth. Just maybe make the sound a little richer with effects. And also like the arrangement is good and like the style kind of, but yeah, mixing. The next one is by Chippy the Music Monk. Light Goes Down. Chippy the Music Monk? Okay, whatever. Yeah, it's progressive trance, maybe somewhere in between, probably more progressive. First up, the chords. There is no real chord progression. It's the same chord like the entire song throughout, so that's kind of boring. And then also the mixing is weird, even stranger than the one before. You can already see in the analyzer it has like this bell shape that's the opposite of what you should actually do with club music. The very top end doesn't exist, the very low end doesn't exist. It's like all in the middle. This is really hard to mix if you put all of your elements in the middle. So definitely get a different kick that hits right at 50 Hertz. Make sure that the kick, at least in the analyzer, is like the highest, the loudest. And then the bass almost equally as loud. And then in the mid frequencies a little less. Maybe the chords would also sound better an octave lower, or maybe like a second layer an octave lower to give them a lower tone. And yeah, I think this should already help a bit. Okay, this one is by Arcadia. It's called Lucida. Yeah, it's making the things even worse than the one before. Like this one is like even more a bell shape. Again, like the core things that a producer needs to think about making electronic music and implementing into the song to make it sound like electronic music and make it work in a club is definitely having the right kick with the right punch, the right frequency, usually 45 to maybe 55 Hertz. If you go above, it doesn't really sound like electronic music anymore. If you go lower, you can't really hear the energy of the kick anymore. And then less in the middle part of the frequencies again, and more in the top frequency parts. The song is trying to have like the frequency distribution like an old school Michael Jackson song, with electronic elements, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I don't know, maybe strip down the entire project, keep maybe the arpeggiator for now, put a proper kick underneath, a nice bass. The song actually has a bass that could actually fit, and then maybe just automate the arpeggiator, put some effects on it, and you will actually get closer to finished club track than yeah, with this kind of kick sample. It's really too high. We got all 5 of them randomly selected. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you want to submit your song and get feedback by me and the entire community, some tips and tricks here and there, just click on the first link in the description, submit your song. There's also the possibility to submit your Logic project or even like the individual stems of your song, and I will actually mix it in one of these episodes. Sometimes it's just feedback, sometimes mixing, sometimes layering things to it, whatever I feel like the track actually needs, and also how much time I actually have. Again, I'm like really stuck with the album production. It's so much fun, and I can't wait to share all of these songs with you. Definitely tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow, continuing album production on the song that I can actually share with you. So this might be actually quite interesting, getting closer and closer to the mixing stage. And also the remix competition winners of the Stay remix competition, they will be released really soon. Let me just check when again. In exactly 2 weeks, all of the Stay remixes will be available on Spotify and all other stores. Huge thanks again to everyone that participated in that remix competition. The next one, I think once I'm done with the album, or at least like far enough, I will start organizing the next one. Not sure which track, but I will let you know and keep you updated.